Hi everybody, and welcome to another part of the JavaScript tutorials. In this part we're going to see how we can create a kind of a web page like this that contains different news on different topics that you can choose which topic you want to see the news on, and you will see those specific topics of news on your web page. So here, for example, I can choose tech, and after a few seconds you will be able to see that the tech news will show up, and then by clicking on the news you will be redirected to that specific page. So for example, here I can click on this news page, and you will be redirected to the page that has broadcasted that kind of news. So in order to create this kind of web page, we will use the API from the NewsCatcher API. So all you need to do is to register to the website and get an API key. So here I've got one, and here it is. I can copy and paste it inside of my code and use it. Again, in this project we will use the GitHub repository of Arashtad, Sci-Fi-UI-Elements-Pack, and we will start from the raw project and add the cars, and then afterward we will add the necessary JavaScript codes in order to create this kind of web page. So as you can see, we've been redirected to the page related to that specific tech news, and we can open up any other kind of page that we want. There are also news about sport and other kinds of topics that you might be interested in. So this is going to be a very exciting part of your JavaScript projects that will make you familiar with so many of the tools, such as the unchange and DOM elements, also events listeners, API, and so on, and you will master your JavaScript skills. So let's get started. Here, this is the complete project, and as I told you earlier, this is just the GitHub repository of Arashtad that we have git cloned, and we've added some parts, the cars.html. So in order to do so, we've copied the cars.html and created the news.html. So we've added some parts such as the div tag class center and this unchange event for choosing the topic, giving the user this capability to choose the topic. So here we've added the different options: sport, tech, world, finance, and so on. So here instead of the script tag, we've added the JavaScript code. So this is a more advanced kind of API, meaning that here instead of our API endpoint, we have the endpoint, which is the API related to newscatcher.com, and then the version of it, also the country, which is US, the topic that the user chooses. Notice that here we can choose other countries for the news, and also the method get and the API key that should be entered in here. And then we will add some elements to the DOM so that we can add the cards and other parts that we'll talk about it later inside of the tutorial. So don't worry if you didn't get anything from the explanations of the code, because we're going to start from very beginning and git clone the Sci-Fi-UI-Elements-Pack, and then write each parts of the code one by one and line by line, so that you can easily get what we're going to do. So in order to get started, I'm going to open up a new terminal right over here, and here let's cd back to the main directory, and here I can create another directory for the news project. There we go, and cd to the news project. There we go. And here what I'm going to do is to git clone the repository of Arashtad. So git clone, and let's copy and paste the GitHub repository that we are looking for. So here is the link, and notice that I will give a link in the description for this repository, and also the link of the project that has been successfully done, and also the link to the NewsCatcher API that I will also give a link in the description. So now let's copy and paste the link here So let's paste it over here. So let's do it again. Git clone, and here paste it. There we go. And after a few seconds it will be completed. So now we can run code space dot and click enter. The web page will be opened up here, and we can make it bigger so that we can better see and remove the unnecessary parts. So let's open up the Sci-Fi UI-Elements-Pack. The first thing we need to do is to add the custom.css file in order to add the necessary styles to the repository. So new file and custom.css. So I'm gonna copy and paste all we need from the CSS styles here. So copy all of them and paste it here, because we're not going to focus on the CSS codes. You can do the same copy and paste from the repository. Actually, the repository that we've written the code, not the one that you will git clone from the Sci-Fi UI-Elements-Pack from the Arashtad. Not that one, but the other one that is related to the NewsCatcher. So here I will go to the templates folder and copy the cars.html and paste it right over here. So now I'm going to rename this to news.html. There we go. So now let's look at the differences here. First thing first, we need to remove all of the parts related to the cards. So it starts from the spacer 20, and so we need to delete all of them altogether. Or you can delete everything inside of the main, because we can copy and paste them from here. So again, for the HTML code, we're going to copy and paste whatever we need right over here. And so let me copy from the complete project here, and I will explain what's going to happen. There we go. And so let's find the news.html. You can do the same and copy it from the repository of the complete project. So let's find the main. The main tag is right over here. So let's copy and paste, and I will explain what happens here instead of the main. So where does it end here? So the main tag, and it's right over here. So I'm going to copy this, and it should be placed somewhere about here. There we go. Okay, so and now I'm going to explain what's happening here. First of all, let's also add to the title. Let's find the title, and instead of the cards, we'll add the news project. There we go. So here it starts from here, from the main, and instead of the main, we've added the news project heading h1, and then the spacer 20 instead of the div tag. And afterward, we will add this unchanged event instead of the drop down menu that we will create on our web page. Notice that here, in order to choose the topic instead of our web page, we had this drop down menu. So in order to create that, we will add this code of HTML. Let me go to the main page. So there we go. So this is the select tag over here that you will need to add, and this div class center. So you will add the different options, and also add the unchanged event to the select HTML tag. So topic unchanged handler, which is a function that will get the kind of topic that the user chooses from the user, and then and then we'll add this to the let me show you inside of the code, and then we'll add this to the endpoint right over here, which we're going to fetch. So this is a topic right over here. So from the API, from the unchanged event handler, topic on change handler, it will get the value from the user, and then it will run the function use handler in order to make it happen. So I will write the codes line by line so that you can better understand, but this was an explanation of how onChange event will work. So now we're ready to add the script tag, and also notice that we have a preloader tag that we'll need to add. This is for the page loading the news, and this is going to make your web page much more beautiful. So let's add it right over here, the preloader tags, or the preloader part of our HTML tags. So we will add this at the end of our HTML code, somewhere before the script, right over here, and then we will add the script tag, script here, and now we're ready to write our JavaScript code. We'll continue the rest of the project in the next video, because the time is up for this one. And so in the next one we will cover all we should write inside of the script tag and our main JavaScript code, that you will see how we can create this kind of project using the skills that we have already learned in JavaScript. So until the next video, goodbye.